Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Charles, it's good to see that you're here. Thank you so much. Tech Wreck today. SPX down 2, PFIX up 6%. Tech Wreck today, huh? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Today was brutal. All right, we're gonna have a daily factor show tonight. We're gonna have a Misty Monday show, but also I didn't have an after market close show, so I figured we'd also just look at other stuff, maybe look at the divas and that kind of stuff. Let's see what the market's doing at this hour. The good news is it's bounced a little since the close, but yeah, that was a brutal sell off in the afternoon, especially um, to go down and basically close on the lows. I mean, that's just never a good sign. That bounced a little bit after hours. We'll see. And also bounced a little this morning. This morning we had a bounce, but that turned out, for to be kind of a dead cat bounce. Oh well. For now anyway, the gap that was left behind is just freaking monumental. Whatever though, I mean it is what it is. It is what it is. There's buyers down here somewhere. We just got to go find them, I guess, right? All right. So let's look at Spy. We can do this while we're looking for other people to come. But yeah, I thought we'd do Misty Monday. So we'll do the daily. We're gonna look at the max factor, and we're gonna look at Misty and Mister based and also Bitcoin based ETFs. But yeah, this is ugly. The Spy open, you tried to bounce into the gap a little bit, but I mean that it's just a lot of damage left behind by that gap and close on the lows of the day. Yeah, definitely a tech wreck. Hopefully, it doesn't turn into a multi-day deal. It might. Who knows? But who knows? It might just be one of these 1 or 2 day sell-offs that happen sometimes. Who knows? We'll see. We shall. I mean, we'll know soon enough, right? All right. So that's SPY. Let's look at the cues. Same thing. Bounced into the massive gap. Bulls didn't have enough firepower. Bears overwhelmed them. Closed, not on the lows, but pretty darn close to the lows. So let's look. Bitcoin. Hey, and also a note here, friend of the channel, uh, friend of the channel, Dan, sent me a microphone, and I really appreciate it. But I don't have a free USB port, so right now I'm using the camera microphone. The camera microphone sounds bad. I know that. Sorry about the camera microphone. It sounds bad, but I have a new hub. It's a long story. Anyway, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's bouncing off the lows. Bitcoin had a nasty, nasty sell off today. Nasty sell off. And it was just particularly, it was kind of a technical, they lost a key technical area. I think. I mean, there was a pretty clean 3 touches right there. It's not 4 touches. I guess that line's not the best drawn line I've ever seen. Um, but what I was thinking is, I think, gosh, how do you just get to the end of the freaking thing? Anyway. I was trying to show that it looks like they lost the trend line, and it looks here. It's hard depending on where you put it. That's why I was fussing with where it is. Try to make sure it reflects, but that's pretty good there. reflects reality. And sure enough, they rallied back up from underside of it, and they could not take it back. Not to mention the underside of it, or the point they rallied to, was also the POC for the chart in the time frame that I follow. It may not be the time frame you follow, but in any event, so not a great sign for Bitcoin either. All right, so daily factor. There's 3 of you here. All right, you guys ready for the daily factor? Let's get the daily factor started. Okay. So this is based on the max factor, which is my own metric, which I think does a really nice job at comparing these high yield ETFs to each other. But I showed you all the other. I showed you all the. We can look at lots of stuff anyway. But every night we like to drill down into a different subset. Well, the night subset is, I call it Mr. Monday, Misty Monday, but it's ETFs based on micro strategies, or strategy, I should say, and also ETFs based on Bitcoin, because strategy is based on Bitcoin. And so then by extension, I also threw some Ethereum ETFs in there, and some ones that were a couple that had stocks that were based on, that did like Bitcoin stocks, like say an LFGY, it's in there. So anyway, let's meet our contestants. I usually just start with the high yield first. What the heck? Oh, gosh. Anyway, there's an error there. Okay, I usually start with the high yield first, and YBTC. There's no way this really. Anyway, okay. So YBTC is our first. YBTC is our first contestant, and IMST is our second one. Okay, IMST is based on MicroStrategies, and YBTC is based on Bitcoin, of course. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I just pulled up a chart of both of these funds since inception just to check them out. This YBTC, I saw something that I didn't like about it, and what I saw that I didn't like was the yield was unusually high. However, I wanted to see, but I see why it's unusually high, because it's based on Bitcoin. And look at this thing; it's got crushed. I mean, the NAV's gone. This is just in, what is this? Less than a year. Because this is just in the time that IMIS has been around. It's gone from $39 to $28. Anyway, whatever. So that's why it has a high yield. I bet it doesn't do very well in the max factor. Anyway, oh no, that's IMIS. Okay, well YBTC is also getting crushed. Not as much as IMIS. Sorry, my bad. But my point goes, that's kind of why both of them. It's not why they have a high yield, but it contributes to high yield. Then we have MSTW. This one's from Round Hill. This one also has a high yield as well, but this one's been under pressure lately. Then we have XBTY. Now this one's from Granite Shares. So let's look at these two. MS. Okay, let's check these. Let's check these out. MST, okay, wow, look at that. Well, anything based on strategy is just, I mean, the XBTY one doesn't look great either, being down 26% in half a year. Oh, well, what's he going to do? Then we have, and I threw in Robinhood surrogates too. So we have HOOW, that one pays a high yield, and HOOY. Well, that makes a good. Let's just compare these. Let's just compare HOOW and HOOY. Okay, HOOW is ahead. Good job. Dividends reinvested, dividends not reinvested. 44 to 25. It looks like with dividends not reinvested, it actually does better. Anyway, but in either event, HOW looks tough there. All right, let's go back here. Both have high yields. Then we have MST and YETH. Did MST not get delisted? Didn't Defiance delist a bunch of their leverage plus income? I couldn't tell if MST was on the list or was not on the list. It got saved because I know everything else. I know they delisted a lot of, anyway, whatever. I mean, I don't know anyone that has that. YETH, I mean, we'll see what the Max Factor thinks of that. Anyway, their next contestant's LFGY, and then we have BITK. Okay, well let's look at BITK against LFGY. Any of you guys have BITK? I do, of course. I do, and I didn't get it when it came out. I got it a few days after, right around the top. I got it in here somewhere. I got it in November or late October. I got it in here somewhere. Oh well, I thought the market was going to dip. I thought Bitcoin would dip to like 100 grand and then it'd be all right again. And so anyway, I got this. Anyway, whatever. LFGY actually held up better, and well, that's something else. I mean, that tells you that BITK is pretty risky if it's let's compare BITK and blocks. Let's run them over the same time frame. BITK is a little bit more risky than blocks. Wow. That BITK is something else. It's on the risky side, and not doing great. Let's compare it to Alti. Alti's making it look bad. Alti's making it look like, but so do blocks. Let's compare it to K yield. I know K yield and Alti aren't Bitcoin ones. I'm just looking at other ones. Okay. All right. So who else are our contestants? BITK. We have MS2, IETH, Ethereum yielding 51%, or it's based on Ethereum yielding 57%. I'm sorry. And good old MSTY yielding 55%. Then we have BCCC, Maxi, Baggy, and Blocks. Okay, let's do another comparison real quick. So that's our lineup. Let's compare Baggy to Blocks or something. All right, so the yield really didn't tell us much. The ones that were high yielders were just the high yield mainly because they were based on strategy and their price was down so much. But we'll go back and look at some more of the metrics. What Blocks really makes Baggy look. Baggy was hanging with Blocks for a while, and then Blocks really just separated itself. Anyway. All right, so let's look at some other metrics. So there's a jillion ways to look at it. We can look at let's just look at the NAV return. There's only one of these with positive NAV return, and it's Stretch, which is the preferred stock based ETF. It's based it's preferred stock. It's not an ETF. It's preferred stock. It's preferred stock, STRC, issued by Strategy.
Nice talking with you.
Nice talking with you also. She's so polite. Anyway, look at that. Yield 11.11%, and the NAV's up, and all of these other dogs. And some of these are good. I mean, a lot of these are good, but none of them had positive NAV. But this quarter has been tough. Remember, they're based on Bitcoin. Let's just look at Bitcoin for that. Let's see what we're up against here. Let's look at Bitcoin, and let's get out a daily chart. I'm really kind of concerned about Bitcoin losing the secondary trend line. Now it's just a line on the paper, and it's not near as concerning as when they lost this first one. But anyway, it's still not a good sign, because it's been looking kind of bear wedgy. Anyway, no, shit, I didn't mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. I was trying to put that. Yeah, that's about where I want to put it, though. It's about where I'd expect buyers to be if prices keep going that way. Okay. So let's get back to the middle of this. So, but the problem is, so this quarter is, let me just try to put this quarter out here. Yeah, October 18th. Yeah, that's it. I did it almost perfect. I missed it by 2 days. But anyway, that's the quarter right there. So, I mean, Bitcoin started the quarter at 108, went to 114. Dropped us, high 70s, low 80s, stabilized, bounced, almost hit 100. Anyway, you guys see the picture. Okay, so, but the asset this tracks has gone from 108 to 80, from 88. So that's 20 on one. That's 20%. It's actually a little bit less. Call it 19%, something like that. So, in any event, that makes it tough. Now, having said that, a lot of these surrogates are down. I mean, are down for the quarter. Let's see, some of them are down 17% just for the quarter. So anyway, it's still been a rough quarter, however you look at it. But there's some good ones in here. So the ones better on NAV return are STRC. What's HDLB? Is that one? HDLB? I didn't mean to. I think that's like something else.
Sorry, could you repeat what you said?
I don't know how that got on there. Anyway, disregard that one. My bad. Biggie shouldn't be on there either. I thought that said baggies. The only reason that's on there. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Those two should be on there. So the next best on NAV is another preferred stock, Streak. Just has different terms, but its NAV is only down 2. Then the next best on NAV is another preferred stock, Stride. but then the next best on nav, the next, like really the next one that's not a preferred stock based on micro strategies is BCCC from Global X. Just as far as nav goes, and then right behind it on nav is Biddy. Let's just look at those two for fun. Not bad, BCCC. I mean, not bad, Not bad at all. All right. All right. Anyway, let's see what else can we look at. The highest Moxie ranking is Biggie. Well, Biggie's stock based, and it is a good fund, but it's not. I thought it was baggy. It's not. That's so. Anyway, disregard. And the second highest Moxie is HDLB, which is also not related. So the highest real Moxie out of these is BTCI, then LFGY, and then Maxi. Anyway, let's look at the short-term max factors. What it's all about. Stretch one. I mean, it's the only one with positive nav. I mean, these other ones are bleeding nav. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's great when you make a high yield, but when you're bleeding nav, it's definitely not sustainable. So they don't get ranked high on the sustain index or the short-term max factor. Anyway, of course, stretch wins every week. Every Monday night, stretch wins. Second best one is, and that's not really right, that because there's a wrong number there. So second best one is this one, Strike. Third best one, that one's disqualified, is Stride. So the best real one now, and then the next one is Biggie, which is stock based, also disqualified. The next one's Solano Staking. Gosh darn it. I mean, Ethereum. I mean, how did blocks? Why is blocks all the way down? What is going on with you blocks? Anyway, but we can see right here. We can just line them all up. Blocks is down 20% and paying a 36% yield. Okay, we can see, other ones like Biddy's down 16% and paying a 27% yield. Anyway, the max factor looks at all that and kind of normalizes it all. So it'd say number one is Stretch, number two is Strike, number three is Stride, number four is, I guess, ETTY. That's an Ethereum based. I mean, I guess we should look at it. ETTY. It's the first one that's not. Okay. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if this is working, so the thing is, this chart doesn't look great, but for the past quarter, well, now, actually, this is about a quarter. Well, they're paying a huge dividend. This, I guess, what they're making up for it with their dividend, because the max factor actually kind of likes these people. All right. Well, but then after that, none of these did great. I mean, because all of these were down 15 to 20 to, in some cases, 15 to 20, but in some cases, 38 maxi to 28,
Okay, I found this on the web for 38 maxi to 28. Check it out.
What are you guys up to tonight? You want to look at we can look at the the Diversified Divas and see how that's going. It was a rough day. It was a train wreck for those guys. Just like Charles said right there, huge train wreck. Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, SPX down 2%. But there wasn't panic in the market, right? The market seemed orderly. It did. I mean, maybe it'll bounce tomorrow. But I hear you. It's not just that. There's a few people I follow that I tell you guys about him. I post the guy. He does charts. His name's no. See, his son. He has an Italian sounding last name, but he's from Georgia. Great guy. He does charts. I could just tell. I've been listening to him for years. He's kind of starting to sound nervous. It's starting to kind of hedge his bet. Anyway, I do think that things are. I think that it's going to be kind of a rough year. Plus it's a re-election year. It's just anyway. So I think discretion's the better part of valor. Caution's the way to go. I did a little work on my account today, making it safer, getting a better position for the year to come. Hey there, what are you doing, Ethan? Ethan's in the house. So we got Greg's in the house. All right. Yeah, Max 7. One of the things I was thinking about doing, I did not pull the trigger. I had stuff I wanted to sell and stuff I wanted to buy. I'm doing my first quarter rebalance. And I sold my stuff early in the day because I could tell it was going to be, I just don't like the way the market's going. So I got a decent price because I got out before the end of the day. But I was going to wait till the end of the, because I was thinking this is probably get ugly. I'll wait till the end of the day to buy. But then by the end of the day, it was so ugly. And I was going to get Mago. I really want MAGO. I mean, I think I want it. But then, but I agree with you on what you're saying. I think I want it. But then on the other hand, I really want to add risk here. I just like that it has uncapped upside. So anyway, so I held off, so I didn't get it. It's one of the ones on my list to get. You're right, and I've already decided I've already just kind of decided what I'm going to do. I'll make content on it, but I'm going to replace WPay with MAGO. So MAGO won't be putting on new risk. It'll just be replacing WPay. So I've been unhappy with WPay. I think a lot of you guys have been too. All right, Triple QJ outperforming Triple Q. Oh, really? All right. That's good to know. Old Triple QJ. Just traded me some Triple QJ today. Oh, I'm just joking. What's Triple QJ? Oh, Next Generation. Okay, well, I like the sounds of this. So it's SanDisk. What is it? SanDisk, eBay, CoreWeave, UAL, Teradyne. Boy, that's the company right there. You know who has Teradyne is been doing really well with it too. Is Howard over there at K-Yield. I believe they have Teradyne. Anyway, look at that stock. What the heck is that? ESLT, $711. It sounds like a lot until you think about that it was at $500 a month ago. I mean, Expedia. What is this? Some kind of momentum fund or some kind of? Anyway, whatever. I like the looks of that. I like the looks of it. Ethan, what did you do? So you sold Coin, D-Dog, Spotify, Snowflake, ARM, Intuit. All right. Yeah, I made changes, but they're ongoing, so I need to make content about it. But yeah, I have a couple things I wanted to trim, a couple things I'm going to buy. So I'm trying to trim on days. You're trying to trim where it's higher. I should have done it Friday. Remember, and I did. Gosh, I would have got much better price if I would have done it Friday. Like I remember, I was going to do it Friday. Anyway, whatever. I mean, it could go. I mean, the market just doesn't. This is just kind of a rough time of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if we go lower. I'm even thinking about adding You know what I'm even thinking about putting on? I've changed my mandate. I can now invest in any, doesn't have to be dividend. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be dividend producing. I was just doing an income portfolio, but it can have whatever in it. But I'm thinking putting some of this in it. I mean, I'm going to put some of that in it. I'm just trying to figure out how much. Because this is like a box spread fund. Even if the market doesn't go down, this should still kind of slowly creep up. Not very much. I mean, look at the 1 year total returns 3%. Okay, but in a market sell off, it can go way higher. You can see recently this thing's blowing up and just went to a new high because of the big sell off today. Right, that was a nasty sell off. I mean, the last time we had a nasty sell off was mid-November, and you can see it. But anyway, so I wonder if I should have bought. I should have got this today though, because I wonder if the market craters overnight. They'll be mad that because even though this is a short fund, it's the opposite. You still, whatever. But yeah, I'll make content about it. All right, Triple QJ is stocks 101 through 200. Oh, cool. Okay. Interesting. So it's kind of the second string or whatever. Now it's a good way. So that's the thing. That's the thing. If this year's not great or whatever, you know, what'll probably happen is like the Mag 7 will lose leadership. I mean, it's like you guys are saying, the Mag or the ones that have been doing great will quit doing great. For a while, nothing will do great, and then maybe a new group will emerge that does great. So yeah, maybe the Mag 7's over, but that's what I thought last year too. And they had a huge. I really did think that last year, and they had a huge year. I mean, but I mean, what does this thing pay? What 49%? And the price basically went straight sideways all year. Down here a little bit towards the end of the year, but I mean, but still only dropped from 14.50 to 13 and a half. I mean, that's not a bad way to play the Mag 7, but I know everyone hates Yield Max, so the people that hate Yield Max get this one, and this will work too. This will work too. This doesn't pay as high of a yield though, and I don't think this is good of a fund. It doesn't have as good of total return. And I'm going to say this isn't as good of a fund, but to each his own. But yeah, never count the Mag 7 out. But really, the time to dump the Mag 7 looks like it was maybe back in October. Let's look at MHES Mags. I mean, actually, yeah, the last day of October was kind of a peak because November was bad, and we have not reached that last day of October peak. And look now, look at us breaking out of this. Yeah, Google saving. Good point, Greg. Greg's saying Google is saving the Mag 7. Trying to make sure this is on minimal. Is that minimal? All right. Well, Misty Monday stretches one ever since I've done this. This one wins every time. But if the market will ever come back and these high flying funds will start doing well again, I would think that they would pass because this is just super steady and stuff. I would think that the riskier ones should pass it. We just haven't had a. We just have to have a better market. We just have to have a little better market to have a place to hide it. All right, so I'm sorry. How bad is the microphone? I mean, I'm trying to speak up. I think if I sit closer and speak up, I got some complaints. But the other day I was sitting way back there and speaking quiet. But I'm using the camera microphone and it's real echoey. And I've got complaints on it. But I don't have a free USB port, and I don't have a hub for it until tomorrow. I mean, I have a hub, but even my hub's filled up. And I'm having technical problems. That's why I didn't have a show today. You guys, I mean, I'm having technical problems. What's up, Marcus? No, never a bad time for metals. Let's go look at metals. I couldn't believe I've been scared to look at my portfolio, my model portfolio for a few days because the market's been getting crushed. And, blocks is my second biggest position, just blocks. And blocks are down 7% or something today. I looked at my model portfolio and I'm still up and ahead of where I was. But it's because I'm up for the year and up ahead of where I was last time and up higher than I thought I should be. I was when I heard the number, I was like, yeah. But it's because of freaking K Gold and K Silver. I mean, K Gold. I mean, what are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with that? I mean, that's incredible. I want to sell half the position, but I wanted to sell half the position. I don't really, but I want to lock in some of this in case this goes the other way. But anyway, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. I don't have that much of these. I think about 7 or 8% of the account in K Gold and 6 or 7% in K Silver. Together, about 15% of the account. But anyway, they've been doing really well. And maybe I should trim that a little bit. Maybe I should trim that. Anyway, but I love rebalance. Rebalance is my favorite time of year. So I have more trades to do tomorrow. I have a big interview coming up tomorrow. You guys going to help me with? You guys have suggestions. Um, you guys going to have suggestions? Hopefully. Now I have David on from David from Quantify. Now he does the BTGD, but he has two funds out, and he has a fund coming live tomorrow called what is this called? IS. I thought maybe I could guess. It's called but anyway, it's like it's IS because it's for income stack. It's IS, then stocks and bonds. Yeah, then there's IS, and then there's stocks and gold, or maybe bonds and stock. Well, you guys have seen that too. Yeah, exactly. There it is. Bond's helping me out there. Hey, Bond, thank you, man. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Never a bad time for metals. Yeah, K Gold and K Silver aren't really metals, but we're using the metals. Well, I guess they really are though, because that's the thing. The thing about the covered call funds is the covered calls. The lesson at the end of the day is the covered calls really don't matter, really in the grand scheme of things. You're investing in the underlying stock. So K Gold and K Silver are derivatives. It's not. You wouldn't. I mean, a financial planner is not going to tell you to put 5% of your portfolio in K Silver for inflation protection, but you probably. I mean, check with your planner. You probably want to use But I do think I think it's interesting that they participate in that. In that they I think monetizing volatility from that ecosystem is cool and is something cool in its own right. Even if your financial planner is not going to have you put 5% of your portfolio in K gold for an inflation hedge. I definitely think you could put 20. I definitely think, not financial advice, but a guy could put maybe 20% of his high income portfolio in K gold or K sil or something like that for an inflation protection for the high yield portfolio, because the high yield portfolio gets hit by inflation too. So yeah, I'm a big and there's other ones that are good. It doesn't have to be K silver, K gold. I mean, Howard's just speaking of Howard, let's go check this out. I'm just making sure you guys are behaving here. All right. So but yeah, I've been having technical problems all day. If I'm going to use the new microphone, I can use the new microphone if I use my laptop. But on the new computer, unless I get a hub, there's no way. Anyway, I tried to beg and borrow some other equipment. I tried to rig some stuff together and hook some stuff up from some old equipment. We have an old hub that it's a long story anyway. So I've been working on it all day. Sorry I haven't been around. And also, and I'm locked. Oh man, I'm so mad about this. I am locked out of Discord. I can get in on my laptop, but I can't get in on my new computer on my desktop. And now I spend 99% of the time on the desktop. I don't even like to open the laptop. And I cannot. I tried for like 2 hours today to reset. You guys have no idea. After that troll attack, I locked down Discord with multi-factors and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I guess I'm just going to have to open the. Anyway, I don't know. But so sorry I haven't been around much, but I'll be around tomorrow. So noon for the meeting. Can you guys be there at noon? It's a live stream. It's going to be David from Quantify. I'll have him on from noon to 1. I'm going to watch some of his old interviews and get some questions for him tonight. I have a few questions for myself, but I don't think of the same kind of stuff you guys will probably want to know. So I'll definitely be taking suggestions. Or if you don't want to give me a suggestion, that's fine too. But show up and put it in the darn comments. Or show up, and if I'm asking the wrong questions or not, show up and participate. That you guys are what will make it better. All right. There's no I in team. Curve coming out with the copper fund soon. You hear now? Aren't they coming out the platinum fund or palladium, or is Curve going to have a K pen or something? Right or no? Or did well? I think one of my friends, I think it may have been a good old Mark from Discord, was saying that he bought P10. And I was like, what is P10? I didn't say, luckily I didn't say it. And it wasn't Peloton. It was, it was a platinum fund, PLT, anyway, I'm trying to think which one. Maybe it was that one. Maybe a PLTM. It was that one. I was like, I wanted to say, what the heck was that? I did say what it was. I Googled it first. But it's the Granite Shares Platinum Trust. So, and it may not have been him. It's somebody I was talking to. So check this out. So this isn't even an income fund. This is just a holy cow. Look at this breakaway gap. Look at this long basing pattern. And then you have a gigantic gap, and it's open after, it stays open, never challenged. Then another one and another. Oh my God, that's just a runaway market there. Does anyone have anything like CTA? It's a commodity trend following, and there's other ones out there. I think Charles has some, um, but I'm just curious. I actually have a video I did about. Oh, I haven't done the video yet, but I have some content about CTA. Man, look how well CTA did there from 2023. So the market bottom right here at the end of 20. So they came out of the perfect timing. So it's really kind of hard to tell. But anyway, you can see, let's see, the test is in April. How much did they lose? Because this fund is supposed to insulate you from black swans a little bit and from inflation a little bit. Anyway, and sure enough, they did fine in April. They were down like nothing, $3 or whatever, 8% or something. All right. Yeah, you think K-Sil's up 90%, dude? It's saving me. It's saving me because guess what my biggest position was well, cash, but after cash it was Alti. But now Alti's been dropping in price, and now my inverse has been going up, and so now my biggest position is cash. My second biggest position is the 15% I have in the inverse. Anyway, but then after that I have Alti like at 13, and then and so it's just been it's just been killing me. Alti's been absolutely killing me. Well, in blocks, and I have like 9% of the accounts in blocks is doing worse than Alti. I mean, maybe not, but it did worse on the way down than Alti. You know, maybe better altogether. Well, whatever. It depends on what time frame you're looking at. Anyway, what did you pick up? You picked up some BTGD. So I'm saving. So the good thing is I have cash, man. I have 17%, and then today, let's see, I raised some cash today. I have about 25% in cash right now. So that's a good thing. I have stuff to buy. I'm considering that stocks. I'm considering the income stack product. I mean, I don't know anything about it yet. None of us do. I don't think it comes out till tomorrow. I get the first day interview, but I believe it comes out tomorrow. So, what did you mean here, Marcus? Well, if you mean income, there's growth. I mean, it's like pick. Get that. Oh, ISBG, is that what it's called? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. It just isn't in here yet, but it will be soon. It will be soon. All right, let's look at futures and let's not do that. In the grand scheme of things, today was, I mean, you know, let's look at it this way. I mean, I definitely see that, though. I mean, there's definitely that. I don't think there's much denying that. Oh, well. Oh, well. We'll see where we go from there. Not always the end of the world. All right. So, did I have some other stuff to show you guys? Yeah. So cash. This is before I raised some cash. By the way, 17.5. Y triple Q. Okay, I said 14. It's 12.8. K yield is now. That's what I was going to say. K yield is now higher than Alti. Not because I've reallocated. I did buy some K yield about 3 weeks ago. Last time I bought the dip, it was K. I bought K yield and QLDY. But in any event, a little of each. But yeah, great job on that one on getting K yield. But not only that, also and Alti's price has been dropping. But now K yield is my biggest long holding. Alti's in here 11.6. Blocks is 9.8. That used to be like 12. I mean, but I just can't get that thing to stop dropping. But this K-Seal is 7%. Has just been, it was up 6% by itself today. You know, I mean, that's incredible. Salty did well today, but I mean, I'm not proud about that. But Salty's 5% of the account. So the account's pretty insulated on the downside with all the cash. I mean, you can see I'm not super bullish. I mean, I do like my K yield. Love me some Alti and blocks. Now, not so much lately. I'm mad at him, but I mean, I used to love him. It used to be a beautiful relationship. Me and Alti, we used to have a beautiful thing together. Oh well. Oh, nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. I believe in Howard. I see. What are we? Why are you sorry the bond picked up BTGD? I'm getting in on the middle of the conversations. I just need to leave you guys' conversations alone. TSYX moving accordingly. That doesn't sound TSY. I mean, let's look. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So what do you guys, no. Is anyone in that yet? I mean, hang on. Anyone in that one yet? THTA, not one of my favorite ones out there. THTA, if you've watched my show very long, I don't talk options that much. I used to talk options more. THTA does a strategy called an iron condor. And I do not like iron condors at all. I can't stand them. Even though, there's guys in my Discord that trade them and make money on them. It's just, I don't have patience for them. It's a personal hang up. Anyway, this is a fun, THTA. Let's look at their performance over the years. But they do iron condors. Selling options is good. Absolutely. Selling options is good. Correct. Iron condors, you have to sell puts and then you have to sell calls. So selling puts is good. Selling puts, you get exposure to the upside of the asset, as you guys know, to a cap, but that's good. Okay. Well, selling calls is not good because you get capped. But say you sell both of them. Whereas if you just sell puts, they would be fine. I mean, anyway, but they have to sell. I don't understand why they have to sell both of them. Anyway, THTA, and let's look at just SPY. Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be like a bomb-like return. But they sell, and what they do is they sell super far out of the money options that are supposed to never go in the money, like only less than 1% of the time. They sell like one delta, but that's also, so that's a strategy called picking up pennies in front of the steamroller. You're right, and when you're right, you make a little bit of money lots of the time, but when you lose, it's spectacular. And anyway, yeah, I get the idea of what they're trying to do, and evidently the strategy they're using has a track record that goes back a long way, and it's never had a losing quarter or something. But I just don't. I don't care for it. I don't care for that one. Oh, okay. I got you. Greg. I was just wondering. You're in on it, small position. It might be the best income way to play SPY. What, THTA or TSYX? Yeah, I know. TSYX, of course. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I know what you're in on. Why do you say it's the best way to play spy long term? I mean, um, it's not better than Alti, is it? Come on, come on. I'm gonna have to ban you from the room. I'm gonna have to be. You're a freaking moderator. I have to put you on timeout. Come on. You're talking crazy now, Marcus. Quit talking crazy. I'm just joking. Um, do you think it'll be? It's the thing I want to know is when it comes to any of these. Well, is it as good as Spy Eye? Is it as good as Triple QI? You know, I mean, that's the. So we should put Theta to the Spy Eye test, not because it is an income fund. But like I say, it was trying to replicate a bond type thing. That's kind of its deal. It's not trying to get a lot of return, and it doesn't. In fact, it gets negative return. But just going for those little singles, is supposed to give it a return so steady. It's just like a bond. You can just count on it. Well, um, I guess we could compare, but so it's probably not a fair comparison to compare it to a stock investment. Let's compare it to this one. Well, hang on a second. I didn't mean to do that. I mean, you could see until it really cratered and the fund just basically broke. It was trading similar to a bond. I mean, barely making any money. You know, super boring. I mean, I think that's the way it's supposed to work right there. But it just, yeah, I wouldn't touch that one. And nor would I sell. And nor would I sell iron condors. The thing about iron condors is, yeah, you lose so much if the market makes a big down move, but you're capped on the upside. You aren't going to make it back on an up move either. I mean, yeah, I'm just not into them. Yeah, 130 spy. Yeah, that I think that is what people wanted. How about this one though? There's, I'm always saying the big comparison is can it beat Spy Eye? Can it beat Triple QI? Because those are kind of the big kids on the block. I mean, they deservedly so. The thing is, though, those are coming out with their own boosted funds. Aren't they? Isn't Spy Eye and Triple QI coming out with a lifted? Or they call that lifted or something? Or is this lifted? Is this TSYX thing? This is lifted. Okay, well, whatever. But I mean, that might be pretty interesting. A Triple QI. I think I did a review on one of those. I think that's a real deal. Maybe I'm getting confused with these right here. But pretty much the way it's going, there's everything, every strategy and everything there um, is coming out. Okay, so Neos are going to be called boosted, but I didn't just dream that. It's going to be Spy Eye plus a little bit of leverage, right? And Triple QI plus, because that could be a game changer. And I'm not downing T Spy. T Spy is awesome too. T Spy, using daily options, it introduces another level of risk. Um, but whatever. I mean, whatever. So but that, like I say, that's always my test is. Can it beat Spy? That's always my test is can it beat Spy Eye? That's why it's impressive. That's why Big Y is such an impressive fund because it can. Not a lot of funds can. But let's look at T-Spy. T-Spy can also, though. That's good. T-Spy and Big Y, I think, are some of the few. Let's see. But anyway, those are both good funds. There's a lot of ones that can't, though. Like, let's look at XDTE from Round Hill. Good fund. Does not beat Spy Eye, at least not since inception. That goes back 2 years, but I mean, that's a pretty good comparison right there. You can look at that. Spy does a good job. I mean, Jep I used to kind of be the gold standard, 2-3 years ago when I first started doing this. But then Spy Eye and Neos took over. Neos is they're just the bluer, the kind of the blue chip versions of these funds. I mean, of the cover in the cover call universe, Spy Eye and Triple QI. Because, yeah, Spy Eye, look, it just left Cheppy behind. I mean, that's nasty right there. That is nasty. I was reading somewhere today, it was on X, and I think it was Income Architect, Brad. And Brad's feed was saying that he was talking about Spy Eye and Triple QI, I think, that they make the money. They only ride on half the. He was saying they only write on half that. They only write options on half the portfolio. Anyway, whatever. If you look at that right there, it definitely, I mean, that's impressive. Let's look at Spy Eye versus Spy. I bet it's not doing much better than Spy. Jackson, what's going on there, buddy? Well, Spy's like, come on, guys, chill out. What are you talking about? Spy's like, hey, Max, check this out. Spy's like, yeah, I'm doing a lot better than Spy Eye. Hey, Max, shut up. Spy Eye is a good looking fund now. Triple U traded most of the day at 5 in the last few minutes. It closed at 391. Well, that's a volatile fund there, Michael. Thank you for checking in with us. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate all of you guys being here. Remember, this is not financial advice. Please consult a licensed professional. If you'd like to send me a tip or make a donation to the channel, you can do it at paypal.me/MaximumXD. If you guys have any more questions, I'd be happy to stick around. Gosh darn it. So I got this interview tomorrow. You guys going to be there for the interview, right? Going to be there at noon. It's noon my time, so it's probably 1 your time on the East Coast. But be there for the interview, and I'll do a morning show. I'll do a morning show so I can get in. I'll do a morning show. Anyway, be there tomorrow morning. Be there for the interview. Thank you for being here tonight. Another night, another win for Stretch or Stride or whichever one. It doesn't matter. Whichever one always wins. Yeah, so THTA does iron condors on Treasury. So last time I checked, I thought they were doing iron condors on the SPX. But anyway, whatever the case is, I just didn't like the return profile. The return profile. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you later.